All right, welcome back to episode 5 of Faith Sundays. We are here on Saturday trying to record for Sunday. However, this video will not be posted until Monday, unfortunately. There's just a couple things that came up this week, but we have been posting our shorts and stuff like that on YouTube, and as well as starting our Instagram channel. So if you guys haven't liked or subscribed, please make sure to do so. We're trying to expand some more content and stuff like that, so it's really neat. Today's episode is going to be about friendship. So, what is a friend, right? How do we perceive people as friends? And how does that affect our daily lives, right? Because friends can be good, they can also be bad, depending on influence and other things like that. So, it's just something that this week I've been thinking about a lot, and whether it was like working on my social media stuff or the 5M server, like deving and all that stuff. This week has been very, very interesting. So let's roll into it. Let's check it out. All right. So for me, being a friend is more than just like hangout buddies and something um, like the past time, right? So for me, being a friend is being there for your friend when they're going through it, and whether it's thick or thin, you're there for the fun times, you're there for the low times, right? And I think something it's hard because I think we go through in life, we go through different chapters, and friends can be there for that chapter, or they can be there for you throughout your book, right? And it's hard because sometimes in life you're lucky to uh, have one solid friend. At least that's what my mom used to say. And luckily, I've been blessed to have a decent amount of people in my life. But would you call them friends? And that's something that is hard to kind of understand. So, like I said, my definition of being a friend is there for them whenever you can be. But some people, that's not the same thing. And I think a friendship is not a one-way street. I think being friends with someone is it's a give and take. And that's where it's like that's being a friend, right? That's being there through thick and thin. When we talk about like biblical stuff, um, there's a lot of stories in the Bible about friendships or families. I mean, you can look at Job and see how his family's basically uh, there's some problems there that happened to Job, some unfortunate things, and throughout all of it, right? There's stories of friends, there's stories of families, there's stories of like betrayal, there's stories of great friendships that become things of like epicness, right? But it doesn't tell you how. It doesn't tell you that's going to be easy. It doesn't tell you that it's a walk in the park. You just make a friend anywhere. It's hard to find a real quote unquote friend, at least in my opinion. It's hard to find somebody that's going to be there at 2 in the morning when you're lost everything or something, and you go to call and you're like, "Hey, I just need someone to talk to." Um, to me, that's being a friend, and I think we can all improve on being friends, whether it's being there for that person when everything else seems to fail, or when it's something that is as easy as saying hello. And I think people forget because as we get busy in life, right? We, whether it's work, whether it's family, maybe it's kids, right? That still kind of fall into that family category. Um, we don't allocate our time sometimes. And I think with that, that's where it becomes difficult. Is like, how do you juggle all of this? How do you still be a good friend, but then spend time with your wife or spend time with your husband or, whatever the case is, right? Spend time with your kids. How do you have like time to do anything? But even a text to be like, hey, how you doing? How's your day today? It takes a split second. And, something that I've just been thinking about this week is just like, wow, how many friends do I actually have that reach out to me versus me reaching out to them? And this is not a, oh, I'm such a good friend, right? This is, and I do the same thing sometimes. Sometimes I just don't have time. But I'm trying to be better at it, right? I'm trying to be like, hey, how you guys doing? Or hey, just let you know I'm here for you if you need anything, right? So that's something that I've just been thinking about, and I think it's something that we can all do better on. So that being said, when it comes to just improving as being a friend and being there for people, it's you're also gonna have friends that say like, "Hey, we're ride or die," or whatever you want to code it as. But when it comes down to a change, whether it's your life or you start like putting your family first or whatever the case is, and you maybe just don't have time for that friend may exit your life. Even friends that you think that wouldn't sometimes do. And I'm not saying that they weren't friends, but I think something to understand with that is that those are people that are going to be with you that, hey, maybe they have helped you, maybe they haven't, maybe they're a good influence, maybe they're a bad influence. But those are people that are going to be with you for that chapter, right? And it's not necessarily supposed to be for the entire book. And I think having friends in the chapter, there's nothing wrong with that. For example, some people have friends in, let's say, elementary school, or if you even go back further, you can go preschool. And you got friends that are in elementary school and middle school, high school, college, work, right? Uh, some of those friends we never see again. And then, hey, some of them we have lifelong friends, and that's amazing to have. Um, but as we grow older, we sometimes just don't have the time for it. Or like, I mean, unfortunately, my Facebook I don't really use Facebook that often, but I have friends from, gosh, I would say as early as elementary school. Do we talk? No. Are we there? Yeah, I guess I could reach out to some of them or one of them, but then it's like, well, we haven't talked in X amount of years, and hey, that's cool. Maybe it rekindles a friendship, and that's amazing. But the thing to understand is that sometimes people are there for your chapter, and again, maybe they're the best thing. Maybe that's what you needed at the time, and that's where they're meant to be, right? Maybe they weren't supposed to be there for the whole book. Now, friends that are bad influences. I guess it depends on the situation, and I don't want to be like super super blunt, but there's good and bad influences in the world. You should know right from wrong and stuff like that. So if you have friends that are a bad influence, hey, maybe you don't surround yourself with people like that. Maybe you surround yourself with people that want to see you do good. Because I will say this: people always want to see you do good in life, right? But they never want to see you do better than them. And when you find that person that is happy for you doing good in life, and happy that you've done this, and happy that you've done that, those are the people that you keep around, the people that actually reach out to you, and the people that go, hey, how's your day going? Those are the people that you want to hang out, and you can see that they're bringing that good part out of you, right? um like I said, being a friend is really important. If someone texts you how your day's going, text them back, be like, hey, I'm great, how are you? Maybe for some reason that person is reaching out to you because maybe something's wrong going on that's like heavy on them, and maybe they just need somebody to talk to. I think we need to put ourselves in people's shoes more often and kind of understand the other perspective of what's happening. Because if you don't do that, unfortunately, sometimes you can lose some close friends, and you can't, like, you just have to reach out and try a little bit too, because a relationship is a two-way street. It can't be one way. And so that's where, when it comes to friendship and stuff like that, I think that that's super super important, is to ensure that it's a two-way street. um, this past week has been a crazy week when it comes to just different dramatic things that have happened, like within my server, to say the least, and just from stuff breaking and so on and so forth. But then outside of that, friendships have been in a weird spot. I work a lot, trying to build this community or work on the Face Sunday videos to doing my social media jobs. So I don't have a ton of time to do a bunch of things. But the thing is, though, is that I try to make as much time as possible. At least try to stay connected to some people. Like I said, it is difficult, but something that is, it's tough because I had a friend that we got in a little. I wouldn't say an argument, but it just, we didn't see things eye to eye. And unfortunately, when we did that, it definitely put a hinder in our relationship when it comes to the friendship, right? Um, I think people don't realize that perspective and the way things are handled sometimes does cause an issue. Now, I'm not putting the blame on him. I'm not putting the blame on me. I'm saying it's a 50-50 in the sense of if we would have sat here and understood each other's perspective more, or that communication would have been there, maybe the relationship would still be there. So the thing is that friends again play different roles. And one of the Bible verses that I had thought up for this week is Proverbs 13:20. So I'm going to go ahead and read that off for you guys. So he that walketh with the wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. I'm going to say it one more time. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. So let's think about that for a second. So it's pretty laid out. He that walketh with the wise shall be wise, but he that doesn't, right, shall be fools. So obviously, with who you surround yourself with, or in this case, who you walk with, um, if you walk with the wise people, you're going to be wise. Basically, who you hang out with and who your friend groups are for today's type of thing, your friend group is going to be like that direct influence on who you are as a person, um, whether it's good or bad, unfortunately. And it's like, for example, say you had to work, we'll say 7 a.m. in the morning, and your group of friends like, hey man, let's play a couple games, let's play a couple games, let's play a couple games. Or maybe it's, hey, you want to go out to the bar, right? And you know you got work at 7 in the morning, and they're planning to stay out at 3 at night or 3 in the morning. Well, now you're only getting 4 hours of sleep. So while that's, I suppose, okay to do sometimes, if you did that every day, you'd have some problems, right? You'd get less sleep from work, and then that kind of just snowball effect happens. And so that's where it's like, if you surround yourself with people that are responsible, whatever the case, it's going to rub off on you. Um, and as I'm getting older, I want more things in life. Um, I want to have the nice house. I want to have host the like the holidays at the house, right? And what do I need to do that? Well, I need to work harder or whatever the case is. Um, but if I keep surrounding myself with people that go, well, yeah, you can miss a day at work, you miss a day at work, that creates its own problem because now it's stopping me from getting closer to my goal. Not saying for people to go out and not have fun. No, not at all. But you got to be responsible about it. And that's where the group of friends that you have or a friend that you have, um, they should know better. Like the thing is that's where surrounding yourself with people that are responsible, whatever the case is going to be really good because it's going to have a direct impact on certain things that you're going to do. There's also the emotional side of friendships. For example, I have a friend that calls me sometimes and it's late at night and they're like, hey, I just had a really bad day. I just need someone to talk to. Always try to be there for them. And I hope that they would do the same for me. I can't say that they will. I can't say that they won't, but I'm pretty sure they would, right? I can't for sure say that because what if they don't answer or whatever the case is? People have things going on with their own lives that, it's everyone has stuff to do. But it's something that it's like you shouldn't do stuff for people because you want to do it, like in the sense of like, oh, I'm gonna get something out of it. You should do it because it's the right thing to do. Like if people are out trying to do things because, oh, I'm gonna get something out of it, to me, it's if you're gonna go, let's say, help a person that is less fortunate and they're hungry or whatever the case is, don't do it because, oh, I'm gonna get social media popular. I'm gonna go post this of me doing this. Why does the world need to know that you're out doing that? Just go do it because you want to do it. It's just one of those things where it just to me doesn't make much sense. And that's like where when that friend calls, I'm not doing it to be like, oh yeah, they're gonna be my friend more. Hey, they're gonna do this or that. No, I'm just there because that person needs help and I'm here to help. I think if us as humans were to help more people before we help ourselves, I think we'd be better off. And I think that's what friends, being a good friend though is, because to culminate all of it, to be a good friend, it's being there even when you have those bad days or when you have the good days. And it's also not throwing away a friendship over a simple argument, because that happens so much. So many people, they get in some stupid argument about XYZ, and are you not going to argue? You're probably going to argue. At some point, you're going to argue with your friend, or you're going to have a disagreement, or whatever the case. And it is what it is. It's friendships for you, or even relationships for you. Some things you're just going to not see eye to eye on, and that's completely fine. Just don't destroy a friendship over that. Maybe reach out to them, and be like, hey, can we talk about this? Or did I offend you, or did I cause a problem in any way? Because while they may not, it may take a long time for them to cool down. Hopefully they eventually come around, but at least as a person that you were like, hey, I reached out and I tried on my part. Um, and then you kind of leave the ball in their playing field. I think it's just people, when it comes to friendships and stuff like that, again, it's a two-way street. You gotta give, and sometimes it's a little take on your end, because like I said, if you gotta be the one to call your friend and you need that support and help from them, then you need to do it, right? Then you need that friend to be there. um, so when it comes to that stuff, it's not easy. It's not easy to be a friend. It's not easy to be a good friend. But the one thing that is easy to do is let them know that you're there and that you care. So, like I said, even sending that simple message of, hey, how's your day going? Takes you a couple seconds. The other thing is in life, I don't think people understand how precious life is and how fast it goes. So, let's say your cousin randomly texted you, was like, hey, can you want to go out to dinner tonight? Why say no? Of course, if you have plans or whatever, there's stuff that you're gonna have to say no to. But it's one of those things where if you don't see them that often or them that often, then maybe you should hang out with them. Maybe they need help or something. Maybe they missed you, or whatever the case is. And I think that that's something that is so important to do, because life happens quick. Random things happen in life. I could go walk down the street right now and get hit by a car, and that's it for me, right? It's like life happens so fast, and if we're not there to kind of stop for a second and take a breath, um, we might miss it. And so, like, at the end of the day, that's where all this stuff from Faith Sundays is trying to come in, is just basically saying, hey guys, um, I mean, I take my stuff from the Bible, right? But at the end of the day, it's being a good person, trying to be there for your neighbor, be there for your friend, be there for your family. And I personally try to walk as close as I can, in that line, to where it's just being a good, decent person, genuinely. But I hope that at the end of the day, with all the episodes that we had so far, being on episode 5, that I hope someone, at least one person, is taking something from this and is like, yeah, that makes sense, or wow, that helped. Because then, I mean, honestly, I don't even care if it reaches one person in all the time that we do this. It's that one person that was helped because of it. Because I know that, like, there's some days that, whether it's we're not wanting to get out of bed, because we got to worry about the bills that we have to pay, or we're not, let's say we don't want to talk to anybody because we're just in a mood because of maybe the stress of everyday life that's getting to you, you're not alone. Um, we're all like that, right? We all go through our own struggles and our own problems that we have to figure out. And like I said, if this video or my other videos or the other episodes get anywhere, I hope that you guys know that you're not alone in any of this. And that's the biggest thing. Um, so while this episode's a little shorter this week, I want you guys all to know that you guys are not alone. and that if you guys ever have any questions or maybe want to start a discussion for the next episode, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button if you guys enjoy the videos or this video has helped you or you think it could help another. At the end of the day, like I said, we're just here to try to help people and maybe uplift them and be that positive inspiration that you have maybe to go achieve something. Go out there. You can do it. You just got to put your mind to it. If you want something, you'll do what you need to do to get it. You want to go be president? Go out there. Go make a difference in the world. If you really, really want something, nothing's going to stop you from getting it. The only thing that can stop you from achieving your goals is you. And I think that anyone can get out of the position that they're in or anything like that if they have enough willpower to do so. And believe me when I say, I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for God and Jesus. And so that's where like they help me. They push me through on my darkest days and on my brightest days. Got to keep the faith. And when it comes to friendship and stuff like that, what we talked about this week, be that friend to say, hey, how you doing? You know, how's your day going? Even if maybe it's somebody, actually, let's rephrase that. I'm going to give you guys a task to do this week. Reach out to someone you haven't reached out to in a while. Just say hi. How's it going? How are you doing? Are you okay? How's life? That might make their day. And something as simple as that can make somebody's day. And I hope that everyone has an amazing week. I can't wait to see you guys back for episode 6. I don't have too many plans when it comes to having more people on the show just because logistically it's kind of tough. But I will be working on getting some more interviews in. We have Devar that has so many stories to talk about, and everyone seemed to like him. So I definitely have him back on the show. I may try shooting out maybe at a park or something. I gotta be careful because with my whole ACL recovery, I can't go on dirt. I can't go on sand. I can't walk on soft dirt. I can't walk on soft grass because I gotta make sure that I don't twist or rupture the graft that's in currently. But maybe we'll get out of the house this week and see some new environments so you guys just don't see me against my wall. But if anybody ever wants to be on the show or you guys have an experience to share, send a video, send a clip if you guys are comfortable with it. I believe you can DM through YouTube, or if not, DM me through Instagram. We can get some sort of story that would be interesting for the viewers. We all have experiences, guys. Some of the stuff you don't even realize that, you know, that you're having an experience. And so it's important to, like I said, stop for a second and realize that Jesus and God's got you, right? Have that faith. And until next week, you guys have a lovely, lovely week. I hope everything that you guys are trying to achieve this week goes your way. I hope everybody has time to spend with their children and things like that. And I hope you guys, like I said, have an amazing week. I will catch you on episode 6. Until then, see you later.